Have you ever really stopped to think about why flowers are so beautiful? You know, those vibrant colors, the incredible scents? Well, today we're going to uncover the secret life of flowers. And let me tell you, it's not about looking pretty for us. It's a high-stakes story of survival. All right, let's dive in. You know, this question really gets to the heart of it. It makes you totally rethink why flowers exist in the first place. I mean, think about it. All the perfumes we love, the colors we put in our homes, none of that is actually for us. They are incredibly sophisticated tools for one of nature's most brilliant survival strategies. Just look at this. This isn't just a pretty picture. It's like a combination of a battlefield and a billboard. Every single detail you see, the color, the shape, the way the petals are arranged, it's all a carefully evolved adaptation. And they're all designed to solve one massive, fundamental problem that every single plant on Earth has to face. And here it is. This is the main drama of our story today. How on earth do you find a mate to mix your genes with when you are literally rooted to the spot? It honestly seems like an impossible puzzle to solve. I mean, animals can just get up and move, right? They can seek each other out. But a plant has to figure out a way to send its genetic material out on a huge, risky journey with absolutely no guarantee it'll ever arrive. And this is evolution's absolutely brilliant solution. The flower isn't some frilly decoration. It is a highly sophisticated, tiny machine designed with one ultimate purpose: to solve the problem of being stuck in one place. Okay, so let's pop the hood on this little machine and see how all the parts work together. We're going to break down the flower to really get how it pulls off its mission. You know, what's really amazing is just how efficient this whole setup is. A typical flower, just like this one, has both the male and the female reproductive parts all packed into one perfect little structure. See those stalks on the outside? Those are the male parts, the stamens, and right there in the middle, that's the female part, the pistil. It's an incredible all-in-one design. So let's zoom in a bit more. On the male side, you've got the stamen. The really critical part is the anther up on top. That's basically the factory that churns out the pollen. Then, over on the female side, the pistil has the stigma at its very tip. You can think of it as a sticky landing pad for incoming pollen. And down at the base is the ovary, which acts like a little safe, protecting the precious ovules inside. And now we get to one of the stars of our show, the pollen grain. This stuff is not just dust. It's a microscopic messenger, an amazing little courier that's been engineered to survive a seriously dangerous journey from one flower to the next. So how do you actually make one of these little messengers? Well, it's a process called Microsporogenesis. It all kicks off with a single pollen mother cell that divides into 4. Then each one of those 4 matures into its own tough, independent pollen grain. It's basically a tiny armored vehicle ready to be launched on its mission. And this armor is what makes the whole thing possible. Seriously, the outer shell is made of a stuff called sporopollenin, and it is practically indestructible. We are talking about a material that can handle intense heat, super strong acids, you name it. It's so tough that scientists find pollen grains perfectly preserved in fossils from millions of years ago. This armor is absolutely essential for the crazy journey ahead. Okay, so while all that pollen is getting ready for battle, the flower is also prepping the target. Deep inside the ovary, the ovule is developing, just waiting for that messenger to show up. Now, this process starts out a lot like making pollen, but there's a really interesting twist. A mother cell divides into 4, but look here, 3 of them just wither away. The plant doesn't waste its energy. It puts all of its resources into developing just one of those spores into the final embryo sac. It's all about quality over quantity. So we have our armored messenger, the pollen, and we have our prepped and ready target, the ovule. Now comes the main event, the climax of the story, the mission to actually get the pollen to the ovule. This, right here, is pollination. So at its most basic level, pollination is just this. It's the physical act of getting a pollen grain from the male anther over to that sticky female stigma. That's it. It's the critical handoff. If this step doesn't happen, the whole process just grinds to a halt. Now, plants have 2 main ways of getting this done. Self-pollination is kind of the safe, easy option. Pollen from a flower just lands on its own stigma. But cross-pollination, that's the real jackpot. That's when pollen travels to a totally different plant, which is the whole point of sexual reproduction in the first place, to mix up the genes and create new, stronger variations. So how does the pollen actually make this journey? Well, since plants can't move, they hire outside help. We call them agents of pollination. And what's so fascinating is how the flower's whole strategy changes depending on who it's trying to recruit. If you're using the wind, you don't waste energy making bright colors or sugary nectar, you just produce tons and tons of lightweight pollen. But if you want to attract an animal, you have to go all out with the advertising. Bright colors, amazing smells, and sweet rewards. For flowers that use the wind, it's all just a numbers game, a game of chance. The flower's parts are designed to be totally exposed. The stamens dangle out in the open to release pollen, and the stigmas are big and feathery to act like nets. And because success is so random, these plants have to produce an absolutely mind-boggling amount of pollen, just hoping a few greens get lucky. The animal approach, though, is way more targeted. These flowers, the ones we think are so beautiful, are basically living, breathing advertisements. The bright colors, the sweet smells, the nectar, it's all payment for delivery services. And sometimes the rewards get really specific. Some flowers even provide a safe place for an insect to lay its eggs, all in exchange for that one critical act of pollination. It's an incredible bargain. So, after all of this amazing engineering and all these clever strategies, what's the end result? What's the big payoff? Well, it's a partnership for survival that basically holds entire ecosystems together. This is it. This is the goal. A successful pollen delivery means fertilization can happen, and that leads to seeds and often the fruit that protects them. This whole complicated dance is all about one thing, making sure a new generation of that plant gets a chance to grow. But what's really going to blow your mind is that this isn't a one-way street. Not at all. Plants and their pollinators have literally evolved together, side by side, over millions of years. The shape of a flower might perfectly match a hummingbird's beak. A moth's entire life cycle might depend completely on just one type of plant. They have literally shaped each other's destiny. So the next time you see a flower, I want you to remember what you're really looking at. It's a living, breathing solution to an ancient, impossible problem. It's a marvel of biological engineering. And it's a beautiful, brilliant bridge between the world of things that are stuck in the ground and the world of things that can fly. It just makes you wonder, doesn't it? We've just peeled back the layers on this one incredible partnership happening all around us every single day. So what other critical relationships are out there, hidden in plain sight that we're just not seeing? What other amazing secrets are right under our noses?